Hi, Anthony here from Learning to Play the Guitar. In this video we're going to compare two optical compressor pedals, one from Moen called the Uni-Comp and one from Ampeg called the Opto Comp. These pedals work in the same way but they have a very different sound, so here we'll check them out and I'll go through the pros and cons of each pedal. So on the demo here I'm playing this 1990s jazz bass, Japanese jazz bass, with my pickups both on full, and I actually do have a Seymour Duncan Blackouts preamp, active preamp built into this, but I'm running that flat, so no boost or cut on the treble or the bass here. Running straight into my Allen & Heath Z14 mixer, and the USB is just going straight into the computer, so there's no extra effects or tone or EQ or any sort of active preamps going on. So all you're hearing is the basic tone of this jazz bass played through those two pedals that we hear, and I basically then looped that through my Boss looper pedal so that I could twiddle knobs, as you'll see in the video in a minute. So you can hear the sounds of the effect of the pedal on the pure tone of the jazz bass. Just a reminder, if you're enjoying this video, please like and subscribe, and you can check out more lessons and my books at my website, learningtoplaytheguitar.net. So first off, the first pedal here is the Moen Uni-Comp. This pedal cost me about $60, $70 Australian when I bought it, and they're probably still about the same. I'm not quite sure if they actually make them anymore, so you have to hunt them down second hand online, so they can be a little bit hard to play, but they're a really good value compressor pedal. One of the pros of it is that it does do the compression sound very well, but there are a couple little quirks to it. So this pedal doesn't give you a transparent sound if you want a pure clean tone. It does have a particular filtered tone to it. This bias knob allows you to go from a slightly mid focus sound, and if you turn the knob towards the low side or the bass side, it will actually emphasize the bass frequencies while cutting the treble, and vice versa. If you go on the treble side, you'll boost your treble while cutting the bass. So you can hear the sound of that as I'm turning that knob around on the two parts I'm playing. I'm playing a slap part and a fingerstyle part on this bass guitar, so you can hear the sounds of that. And the other sort of funny thing, which I think is a bit of a negative on the Moen, is that the compression is what I call quite sucky. You can't adjust the release time, so it grabs notes and compresses them quite hard. So generally when I have used this pedal, I've had the compression almost on 1 or 0, and that's just enough for me just to have a little bit of compression. Otherwise it can be quite extreme, but some people might want that extreme tone, for a guitar effect or something like that. So it might be a good pedal if that's what you're looking for something that's a bit quirky and unique. One of the other big cons about this pedal is the size of it. It's quite a large, clunky pedal, takes up a lot of space on your pedal board or in your bag if you're carting around to gigs and things like that. A pro for the pedal though is of course the price, that it is cheap, plus it's also a very well built heavy metal pedal. It's quite durable and it will last you a long time. Moving on to the pros and cons of the Ampeg Opto Comp. One of the pros of this Opto Comp pedal is that it has a very clear, transparent sound. It doesn't really affect the tone too much of the bass. And one of the big pros versus the Moen pedal is that you can actually adjust the release, so you can actually allow for a faster release, especially when I'm playing that slap bass part there. It doesn't affect the tone of that so much, so you have much more of a natural sound, evening out your slap playing, which the Moen doesn't do very well. If you want like a nice transparent studio sort of sound and compression, the Ampeg Opto Comp is really good for that. Another pro with that versus the Moen pedal is, of course, it's a much smaller pedal. It's almost half the size because the Moen pedal is so huge. Yeah, probably the only con that I can find with the Ampeg versus the Moen pedal is that it's almost double the price, if not 3 times more the price. I think it's currently about $160 Australian if you're buying in the Australian market. It might be cheaper in the US, but it's definitely much more expensive than the Moen pedal. But saying that, you can actually find these Ampeg pedals online to buy new, while the Moen pedals I think are pretty old and they're just second hand nowadays. So after having a listen to the demo here, hopefully you've got an idea of what sounds you like between the two pedals and whether you're going to try and hunt down that Moen pedal and try and find a bargain online, or lash out and buy a new Ampeg Opto Comp pedal.